Okay, so let's put the files that render into Photoshop. Go to File, Script, load files into Stack, and Browse. And of course, we go to the right place and decide which of the elements we want to use. So I'm using the diffuse, the Fresnel, and the two ID elements. Okay, press OK. And Photoshop puts them all one after the other. And you can see right away that because I moved the alpha into embed, it already cut out of the diffuse, and you can see that we can half see through the window. So it gives you half transparency in the window place. And if I open, go right click on the layer, duplicate, and go to untitled. Okay, and now I put this sky file under, okay, the sky layer under the diffuse layer, and you can see the sky through the windows. Okay, it's a pretty dark atmosphere. Okay, yeah, I like it. It's nice. What we can do now is use some other layers. Now, the first layer we're going to use will be the Fresnel. What I'm going to do is use blending mode into using the Fresnel. If you can see the Fresnel, just the amount of reflection there is on the scene. And what I'm going to do is use the blending modes. And first of all, I will copy it so I won't destroy the layer, because I'm going to do some destructive filters on it. But I'm going to use a different blending mode. And what I'm going to do now is go to filters, choose blur, Gaussian blur, and just blur out this image. And it gives some kind of hazy shine to the view. Now this soft light is a bit too much, I think. Yeah, it affects it too much. So I will go to screen, okay, and then lower the opacity of the layer, and it gives us a bit of a shine. It can be very nice. Depends on the scene. And this is this kind of thing that we want to do with this. It's called kind of a blur. Now we're going to use the ID, and ID, we have the material ID and they have the object ID. So with the material ID on top, I'm going to select with the magic wand the color of the metal paneling, metal aluminum stuff. And after I do it, I'm going to apply a curves effect on the diffuse layer. And I can control how dark these panels are going to be. Now, if you look at it carefully, you see it's not perfect, not very good. One of the reasons is that the resolution of this render is quite low. When you have high resolutions, it becomes better. Now, I'm going to use the object ID to choose the floor. And then I'm going to unselect a couple of things that shouldn't be selected. And I'm going to open another file. and it's just an image of floor. Um, right click on it, duplicate layer to the untitled, title 1, and then I will press the mask button. And because this area was selected before, the mask will be automatically applied to it. And if I'll press the connection, the link part, then then press the image, I can edit the image without moving or changing the mask. And I'm going to play around with this image until it fits better. Sometimes it takes a lot of play. Sometimes you need to work harder to make more changes or try to manipulate the perspective. But basically this is a cheap trick to achieve fairly nice floors without too much hassle. Also work quite well with grass, which is quite hard to create in 3D. And basically that's it. You can continue to play it. Now, one more thing that is very important is after you finished your playing around and it looks more or less okay, I would change the blending mode. Now, there are several blending modes that are possible, and you need to decide between them. Well, basically, you can put it on multiply, you can put it on soft light, or you can put it on hard light. Sometimes also overlay, but usually not. And you can see if I try to do, and the main thing for doing this is that it allows you to see the shadows, and yeah, and you can see the hard light is the nicest, and I can brighten up a bit. No, of course it needs a lot of play. You cannot tell before you use kind of texture what exactly would you need to do, but what I'm doing here is trying to play around with the blending modes, and the multiply was not good, so I will go to, I think hard light, yeah, and maybe make it a bit darker. So I'll go to curves, take it a bit, yeah, this looks nice, and you can see very well the shadow of the building over this this floor. And that's it. Goodbye.